In today's video, I'm sharing if I had to start over as a Cricut crafter, this is what I would actually buy. I've posted similar videos in the past, but this is updated for 2026. This video is not sponsored, and I'm sharing brands that I genuinely love. I hope you find this video helpful, and let's get into it. First up, cutting mats. The good news is some mats will actually come with your Cricut machine when you purchase, so you might not have to run out and buy any right away. That said, depending on the project you're making, you might need to pick some up. The strong grit mat is great for thicker materials, and if you're doing any fabric projects, you'll want the pink fabric grit mat. The blue one is for lighter materials like copy paper. There are off-brand options out there that really do work, but I personally just love the Cricut brand mats. Now let's talk tools. The Cricut tool set is what I used when I first started. Now I have tools that I like a lot better, so I want to talk about those. However, if you're just getting started, you can start with this. First, instead of the standard Cricut hook weeding tool, I highly recommend these LED tools. I love that this set comes with a hook and a pin tool. The best part is that they light up. This might sound simple, but when you're weeding vinyl, it can be difficult to see cut lines, and this makes a huge difference. I like to use the hook tool for weeding heat transfer vinyl, also called iron-on, and the pin tool for adhesive vinyl projects. I also recommend a self-healing mat. When I first started, I had tiny little nicks all over my table I was using from weeding. This actually helps the weeding process itself. You have something to press into so the vinyl releases so much more easily. Instead of the Cricut scrapers, I recommend a squeegee like this. It's larger than even the Cricut XL scraper, but the real game changer is the felt edge. When you're applying adhesive vinyl to glass or acrylic, bubbles can be such a problem. Using the felt edge to smooth it down works so well to reduce that. It also works amazing when applying laminate sheets over matte sticker paper. I used to get bubbles all the time until I started using the felt edge. It's really simple, but it does make a huge difference. I also 100% recommend a brayer tool. There are off-brand options out there, but I really love the Cricut brand, and I think it's completely worth the price. I use this every single time I load material onto my cutting mat. Don't sleep on a good pair of scissors either. Even with a Cricut machine, I use my scissors all the time. My go-to is the Fiskars brand. Next is a simple measuring tape. This is cheap and I use it constantly, mainly for figuring out sizing for designs that are going on my blanks. I also recommend picking up some small spray bottles and filling them with rubbing alcohol. Before I apply adhesive vinyl to any surface, I clean it with rubbing alcohol. This helps the vinyl stick to a clean surface instead of dust and dirt, and it really does make it last so much longer. As for materials, I thought I needed all Cricut brand, and you don't. I actually prefer other brands instead. First, for adhesive vinyl, I have a few of my favorites here. Oracal 651 has been my go-to for a long time. I also really like StarCraft HD. It's so similar to Oracal 651. Caesar brand is always good as well. I also really love Tech Wrap Craft. They have a huge variety of colors. Their chrome is so pretty. They have a ton of really neat heat transfer vinyl options as well. When it comes to heat transfer vinyl, I'm almost always reaching for Caesar brand. It's just so reliable and really good quality. Caesar has a ton of different types of HTV. They have strip flock, brick, glitter, puff, stretch, the list goes on and on. When it comes to printable vinyl or sticker paper, Tech Wrap Craft is one of my favorites. The quality is really impressive. My go-to used to be the Nito brand, but they've been out of stock of the glossy paper from Amazon for a really long time for some reason. I also really like HTV Ront. The price is very good for this. I don't think the quality is quite as good, but honestly, I still am very happy with it. For transfer tape, I've tried tons of different kinds, but I will always recommend the Caesar brand, especially over the Cricut brand. The clear grid makes it easy to line up your design. It picks up the vinyl easily, releases it without a problem, and it doesn't damage the surface you're applying to. The tack is just perfect. It's strong enough to do its job, but not so strong that it causes issues. My absolute favorite cardstock is the Recollections brand from Michaels. It's my go-to. The quality is great. The colors are beautiful. They have tons and tons of different options. This cuts really well on the Cricut machine too. I used other paper and it just snagged and didn't have clean cuts, but I don't have issues with this one. If you're planning to do any iron-on or heat transfer vinyl projects, I really recommend the Cricut Easy Press. I bought the smaller size at first, but the 12 by 10 really is the perfect size for t-shirts, so that's the one I suggest buying. I had also purchased the Cricut Heat Press mat. I started with just a towel, but I find the mat to be so much easier. You'll want a Teflon sheet. This goes between your design and the Easy Press, and it just protects your project. Parchment paper works as a great alternative as well. I really struggled with lining up my designs on shirts when I first got it started, and these t-shirt alignment tools make the biggest difference. I definitely recommend picking those up. If you already know you're going to be making tons of shirts or planning to sell, it might be worth looking into an actual heat press, but for just starting, I think the Easy Press is a really great option. A few extras that have genuinely made my crafting life so much easier. One is this tumbler holder. This has 3 adjustments and basically gives you an extra hand when you're applying vinyl to cups and tumblers. It helps especially with those round objects, keep it steady, and I'm able to line up my design straighter with this. I just use it all the time. For print and cut projects, you'll want a home printer. You really only need a basic one. I have the Epson Workforce. I've had it for almost 10 years and it still works great. The only downside for me is it's a larger printer, so it takes up more space. The model I have has been discontinued, but Epson has several others to choose from. I haven't mentioned Cricut blades. For most everyday projects, you really only need the fine point blade that comes with the machine. If you branch out into other types of projects down the road, there are other blade options. I actually have a blade guide video I'll link, and it walks you through all of that. That's it for today's video. I hope you found it helpful. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and subscribe if you're new to my channel. I share all things Cricut and crafting.